everybody's curious about what I wore on my cruise. Hi everyone, it's Vicki, aka Cruiserella, and today I'm going to share with you what I packed on my recent 7-day Caribbean cruise. It's a little different than a lot of Caribbean cruises that we've taken because we took it in the summer. We left September the 2nd. We have taken cruises in in hot months before. Well, it's always hot in the Caribbean, but this was really a hot cruise. So I'll just show you what I took and tell you what I wore and didn't wear. Our cruise was on the Grandeur of the Seas, which is a Royal Caribbean ship. It is home ported right now in Tampa, Florida, but it seems to move around a lot lately, so I don't know how long it's going to be here. I think I'm going to do a separate video on my experience on that ship. It's the smallest and oldest ship in Royal Caribbean's line, so I wasn't expecting much, and I was pleasantly surprised. So let's get started with what I packed versus what I wore. Let's start with the formal wear. Because it was a 7-night cruise, I packed 2 formal. I wore this one to the first formal night, which is usually a little more formal, in the dining room. And then the second formal night, we actually had dinner in a specialty restaurant, so I packed this one. This one, I believe, was out of an Amazon box. I'm not sure. This was out of Trunk Club. This is an Elijah J. I have 2 that are almost identical, not quite, and both very comfortable. They're like chiffon and very nice. So they both pack and travel well. So wore them both. This is also a long dress that I recently got from World Market's clearance rack, and I wore it one night when we went to a different specialty restaurant. It's just light and airy, and I was very comfortable in it. I don't know if it was particularly stylish. I don't think my husband liked it, but it was comfy, and yeah. So next I have just casual dresses. I wore this one the first day on boarding, and this is just like a t-shirt dress pocket there, and very comfy. And then I wore this one day, and this one. These are all out of style boxes because I don't shop. And this one I wore more than once. I wore it as a dress one day when we were in Nassau, but I also wore it as a swimsuit cover when we went on an excursion. And then this one is the only dress I didn't wear. This is out of a somewhat recent box, and it had been too big when they sent it to me, and they sent me one 2 sizes down, a little bit tighter. It's okay, but it seems a little loose in the bust, so I think I'm going to have to adjust it a little. I did put it on and decided not to wear it. That's how I kind of ended up wearing this one twice, I guess. But anyway, yep, this is the only dress I didn't wear. I packed my new romper and I wore it. It's very comfortable, really liked it. I packed 3 casual tops. I wore this one while on the ship one day. This one I did not get to wear, and the reason why is I would have worn it the last day that we had on the ship. Not the day we get off, but the last full day. But I ended up staying in my room all day because that's when I started coming out with this sinus infection, and I didn't know what it was, so I stayed in the room. And this is what I would have worn had I had one more day. And this is what I wore when we exited the ship. And this is an old Wannable by Lucky Brand. And I love this one for cruising because while it's short sleeve and loose fitting, it's a little bit heavier fabric, not real heavy, but a little bit heavier than, say, these cotton over here. Kind of like the pink thing, the pink romper. So you get a little bit more coverage from the air conditioning. But those are the 3 that I took, and I wore 2, and one of them I would have worn, but I stayed in my room. So because I took 3 tops, I took 3 pairs of shorts. First pair is these white shorts, and I would have worn them with this top had I not gotten sick and didn't go out that day, so I ended up not wearing them. But just those 2 items, that one dress and the top and shorts. Then I took these old cargo kind of shorts, little shorter than cargo. And I wore them with this, which I pair together a lot because this had light blue in it and was very comfortable on getting off the ship. And then I also took just a pair of denim shorts and I wore them with this. I could have the denim and the white mixed up, but I'm pretty sure I wore the denim and not this. Might have to look at my pictures to make sure, because I guess I could have worn the white with this. I don't know. But I wore everything except one shirt, one pair of jeans, and of course the dress. So what else did I pack? I packed headwear. I packed 2 baseball caps. The other one was my museum hat. This is my National Society Descendants of American Farmers hat. And I also have my Luton Museum hat, which I wore home the last day, so I'm not sure what I did with it. It's probably put away in the bedroom. And then I took this hat and I wore it. So I wore all the hats. I also had like a headband thing that I wore, and then I had this over that too. So those were very useful things. Just keep your hair out of the wind and, out of your face. And especially after you've been in the pool or something, or you don't want it to get wet in the pool. So I wore all my headgear. I packed my underwater camera, but I forgot to take it with me when we did the, the stingray excursion. That there's a video about that. It's on there. I forgot it, but that's okay because I got back in on the boat that we took out to the Stingray Island area and filmed down, and the water was so clear that it was beautiful that way. Although I still would have liked to have had some underwater shots. I took this bag full of cosmetics. This was my dad's before he passed away. I had given it to him. It was handmade in Kodiak, a leather bag. We have a black one that was my father-in-law's. So I used my dad's in his memory. And then in these bags, I packed different shoes, but I also packed wetter cosmetic things like cleaners and stuff that I wouldn't want to spill out in the bag. Another bag with shoes. These are my water shoes, which I didn't wear. We were going to go on an excursion where I needed them, but we ended up canceling that excursion because it was 5.5 hours in Nassau. And that's a long, we've gotten to where we prefer excursions to be like 3 hours or less, but anyway, so I didn't. It was just so hot. That was part of it too. Dress shoes, which I did wear with the first formal night. More shoes. My real cheap slippers. I think these were part of some kind of gift pack or something. Wore those. Flip-flops that I wore. These are the shiny ones. These that I wore. And one more pair of Vionic blue and white ones. I have a higher heeled blue one and I keep missing a shoe. I don't know what happened. So, but I wore all the shoes. Here's that headband thing I was talking about. You just, it's a real wide one. Pull it up, wear it, and then put your hat on. Or you can actually put it on the hat for a look too. Although I didn't, but you could. I packed my monocular. And I did have it out of the case at one point, but I didn't really go bird watching or anything specifically. I packed this thing I bought at Aldi that is a combination flat iron and curling iron. And I did use it. I packed this bag just to bring, in case I had something wet to bring home or needed a bag, whatever. I ended up using it just for some purchases, which are in here. Not much. I didn't really do much shopping at all. I carried on this purse, which is a new purse from my Dooney and Burke haul that's on YouTube, not too many back. I also brought this one from the same haul. And I did use this one in port. It turned out to be a nice port-sized bag. And then I packed one of these. And this is the one you can wear as a wristlet, but you can unsnap that, hide that, and then use it as a crossbody if you want. And you can use either side, the side with beaded or not. And it's a crossbody, and it's pretty cool because it holds your either sunglasses or your phone right here. I have a 13 Pro Max, and that fits in there beautifully. And it also has a zipper, so you can hide stuff in there. In fact, there's half a Tums in there, where you can put your ship card or whatever. But since my phone, I got this new case on Timo. This is just a cheap case, but it has where you can put your credit cards and stuff in. So sometimes I just put my ship card in there and stuck this in the pocket of my shorts or whatever, and if I was on the ship. So while I did use this, I didn't use this every day. Like on some of the cruises, I've used this a lot. I have a blue one, a navy one, and a black one. So I didn't use this so much. I think I use this with my dressy clothes more. And then if I had something with the pocket, I just took this most of the time. So other than that, all I took were some electronics, you know, charging cords, things like that. But I pretty much had that one dress that I could have worn instead of the white dress, I guess. But it didn't quite feel like it fit right, and that's why I didn't wear it. I had it on. And then the one outfit for the day that I wasn't feeling good. Otherwise, I was smack dab on. I was almost 100% packing versus war. And you'll see almost all these colors are light. They're white or blue mostly, and they're mostly lighter blues, and they're airy. Yeah, they just, and all the shoes are open except for, of course, these, which I didn't use. Oh, swimsuit. I knew I was forgetting something. It's in here somewhere. Oh, yeah. I missed a whole category. Next, I have a swimsuit cover, which I believe was from Temu. They called it an Easter dress, I think. And it's just like, it's almost like a giant wife beater, the way the cut of it is. And it's longer, it comes about down to my knees. And I wore that over a swimsuit. I only took one swimsuit. And then I did take a cardigan. And I did wear that, of course. And I took a cardigan, which I think it might be inside out. It's just a long white, very waffle weave. It's not a super warm sweater, but what it does when you have it on is it gets the wind, the AC off of your shoulders and neck, so that's nice. And then sometimes I just lay it the long way if I want it over my legs. And then, because I sometimes get cold like in the theaters and stuff, I did bring a long sleeve t-shirt, just a cotton long sleeve t-shirt, and a pair of, that's gray, a dark gray, and then just a pair of dark blue leggings. And I did wear that, I think, one night in the theater. I think it was actually the dressing night after we ate. I think I got undressed, put this on, and then we went to the theater at a later show. The show we went to was started at like 9:15 or 9:30. And I brought a nightshirt, a nightgown, and then a matching robe. Yeah, so I wore those as well. So just for a recap, the only thing I didn't wear was the one dress that didn't feel quite right, so I ended up wearing the white one twice. I was going to wear the white one as a cover, but I ended up wearing it as a day dress too. And then, because of that. And then I didn't wear these because we didn't go on the excursion where I needed them. And I didn't wear that one outfit that I would have worn the day before we got off the ship. So I think I did pretty right on. I think I deserve a gold star. Boom, right there in the middle of my head. Thanks. So, oh, and the only other thing we packed, of course, were electronics, chargers, you know, that sort of thing. This was not a ship that had USB, so we had to bring the cubes, things like that. So anyway, that's it. Hope you liked the video, and I hope it helps you packing. You'll notice there's a theme here. It was kind of white and blue and light and airy because it was hot. All the shoes were open. Yeah, so even though it's hot, though, the ships can get cold inside. On this particular ship, it had a walk around. I forgot they call them promenade decks. And so people were going in and out the doors a lot. So it did cool or warm the ship up. It took away some of that air conditioning. So I really wasn't freezing. The only time I was ever really very cold mostly was in the theater, because that's a little bit offset from the doors. But yeah, it was a nice temperature on the ship. And I will probably do a video about the ship soon. All right, thanks for watching. Thanks for giving me your time. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.